Shawty, this some change. Yeah. Tell it, this change.
Major Taylor, creative genius behind the blog MajorIndieArt, the canvas where dope art lives. And today we're going to be interviewing one of the hottest up-and-coming artists out of DC. His name's Scoop Diddis. He got a mixtape out called Chronicles of Drama City. And we're going to talk to him a little bit about that and get to know him because he does a lot more than what's behind the mic, and you'll see soon. I'd like to shout out my man Chris Jones behind the camera, Coastline Productions. Shout out Shane Miller, Monkey Business for the crew next. Shout out my team again, Andre So, Max Sky High Reed, Saki, and the whole TSG. We out here doing things. Shout out the Umbrella Studios for the collaboration. MajorIndie. What else can I say? We out here working, based out of Maryland, but we taking it worldwide one time. MajorIndieArt. Follow me on Twitter, Major_Smid. Smid stands for support Major Indie dopeness. So if you support the movement MajorIndie, you support the blog MajorIndieArt, you part of that Smid game. So shout out to all my Smids. We about to take over. MajorIndieArt, MajorIndie's the movement. Holla at me. Alright, state your name and tell the people what you do.
Scoop, better known as Scoop Diddis, artist, producer, engineer, Congo player, live musician, parent, you know. Everybody know me, but everybody call me Scoop. Call me Scoop.
Alright, so where'd your name come from? The oranges in your name?
Actually, Scoop came from my pop. Shouts to my pop, man. He does the same thing I do. He's an engineer as well. Work with Yolanda Adams and stuff, but I used to live in the city, around in DC, and you know, you go outside streets. When the street lights come on, what that mean? You know, go in the house.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's how my pop used to get me. He tried to find a name with deep syllables that I could get attested to. He used to Scoop. I hear that name, and I came running. That was when I was a kid, but from there it just blossomed into my live music career. I just stuck with it, man. I just stuck with it. Yeah.
So, how long have you been doing music?
Literally my whole life. Like, I've never lived in a house without a studio my entire life. But I would say professionally since I was like 10. I got paid at 10 to do a wedding. I played the congas.
Okay.
You know.
So you knew at a young age that music was for you.
Absolutely. I just knew it was for me. Did I know I would be professionally doing music? Not exactly. It just happened on its own.
Okay. So are you on your own, or you kind of got a crew that rolls with you?
Musically?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely have a team. Musically, you know, I'm marketing myself as a solo artist, but Umbrella Studios, which we actually currently are, is home to a lot of the artists I work with. And Umbrella Studios is that's my camp, that's my team. My videographers, everyone, my artists, my managers, everything. It's all under Umbrella Studios.
Shout out to Umbrella Studios.
Shout out to Umbrella Studios.
So, who or what are your influences?
Wow, again, my pops, man, you know, me and my pops butted heads as kids because, you know, I'm a little knucklehead at times, but when I was a younger guy like all of us, but my dad, you know, he's emerged to be like my largest influence, you know, because he's an engineer. He gives me a lot of my big homie answers, and, you know, as far as the industry goes, like, I came into it as a producer and a musician, so, you know, a lot of people wouldn't understand my influences. They'd be like, what? When I usually tell them, but it's like guys like DJ Paul and Lil Jon. I'm heavy on bass. Like, I love bass, all types of bass, man. If the bass ain't right, I'm upset, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I feel you.
those guys, and then I merged into, like, the Pharrells and the Kanyes, and then as far as actual artists, you know, T.I., Ace Hood, Meek Mill, you know, even shout to Wale. I think he's a dope lyricist from here as well. But, you know, I got a lot of influences. Kind of got me where I'm at right now, you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. Talk a little bit more about your childhood, your upbringing, and where you're from.
Oh, great. Yeah. I'm from Southeast Washington, D.C., and for a lot of those that know and don't know, you know, it's a lot of stigmatisms that come with that, but, you know, I make the best out of everything, and I emerged from the city, and I moved to, you know, Prince George's County, Maryland in my later early teen years, and I still kind of just always went back home, Southeast DC. But my upbringing was real family oriented. You know what I mean? I grew up with both my parents. Shout out mom and dad, my sister, my brother. But full household, and you know everything wasn't always as tight as it could have been. But they showed me what the family life was about, and I have a son of my own now. So just did a lot of basketball playing in the city, man. A whole lot of basketball. Was glued to the basketball. That's all I knew, man.
So who's your team?
I'm a Washingtonian, man. Washington Redskins, Washington Wizards, Washington Capitals. Love this Heat hat, but Washington everything, man. Yeah.
Okay, so what is like your mantra, like your motto for your life?
For my life, I think you get success by helping others. So, you know, this whole situation today was because I think it's a lot of things that people don't know about me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm real directed. You know what I mean? I could be the easiest person to deal with or the toughest person to deal with because I'm real grounded. You know what I mean? I'm quiet, but I think by helping others is strength and success. Like, that's what I live by. I help you, you help me. That's how we succeed. You know what I mean?
That's a good mentality. Most people, they're gonna think that success is what they're doing, but
right.
kind of like you feel like reaching out is gonna bring your own success. So it's
Absolutely.
Kind of like what you put in the world is what you get out.
Absolutely. Karma in a sense. Yeah, I definitely believe in karma. I think I'm just finishing off mine now, by the way. I like to say that. Shout out to my karma, man. I'm getting that on the up and up, man. Okay. Yes, sir.
So, you talked about your influences. Who are the people you listen to, whether it be from this area or from outside of this area?
I do a lot of, I do what I call split listening. I want to keep in retrospect that I'm an engineer as well, so I got to keep my ear to what's current. But I do, you know, my split listening is what I call it. I listen to the industry, and in the industry, I keep up with whatever's current. I literally listen to everybody. Whatever's going on, it's hot, I'm checking you out.
Right.
But as far as my personal listening, I mean, I'm pretty much listening to a lot of my guys that I work with. Superhero Supreme, he's one of the artists I work closely with, my business partner. Frank's son, Bilal, from this area, I work a lot with Bilal. Check him out on YouTube too. I listen to a lot of my camp, man. Rada MC. I really don't listen to myself a lot, believe it or not. I just like to make the music and make the next song better.
Okay. That's different. A lot of people say that they only listen to themselves because they're trying to get better. They're not trying to get other people's sounds within them, so they kind of keep the outside. But as an engineer, like you said, you got to keep your ear to the streets to know what's current, so
Absolutely.
You can't keep bumping, basically.
Yeah, I just like to make sure that the record pleases myself and you know what I mean? If I have a message I want to convey, it's no better way to convey it than to make sure it sounds the way you want to hear it. You know what I mean? But from my perspective.
Okay, so you have the mixtape out, The Chronicles of the District. Kind of talk about the creative process behind that project.
Wow, man, that project was real heartfelt, man. I've been working on this project for a couple years now. You know, secretly, I didn't even know I was working on the project, but the idea Chronicles of Drama City came back like way back, like 2009, believe it or not, and I wasn't even an artist at the time. I just thought it would be a dope concept, and you know, kind of like Kanye, you know, I was the guy making the sound, and nobody wasn't listening to me. So I just kind of like emerged in like 2011, started recording a little bit, you know, recording a little here, recording a little there. And then over the last year, I did about a year solid recording. I mean, it's solid. It's about a year solid recorded. Good 60 songs, 60 to 100 songs. I say 60 because I cut it to 60. But just solid year recording, man. And called it Chronicles of Drama City because, you know, that's my life. I grew up in Washington, D.C. I'm a Washingtonian at heart. I could move to Canada. I am who I am.
Right.
You know?
Okay, so talk about your creative process. One, when you're actually doing a track, but also talk about your creative process when you're making a beat as well.
Wow. When I'm making a track, production-wise, I mean, around the studio, I have all different types of tools, MPCs, but I have a lot of records. Anything you could think about, you know, to make tracks on, I use it, but I'm more of a vibe kind of guy in life, period. You know, with my women, with my child, with music, anything. I mean, with us, like, it's vibe. So if I'm feeling it, I just stop what I'm doing and just go lace a track. Like, I'll literally sometimes just go lay a sample from a record or toss it out of you to one of my other producers and just lay a synthesized pattern. You know, we work real heavy together. I haven't been doing a lot of production lately, just kind of hits here and there because I love my producer. Shout out to 3 Star too. I'll talk about him later. As far as tracks, same thing, man. I just vibe, man. Whatever hits me, like, I have a lot of things in my life that's gonna happen, and you know, I just spoon feeding it out, if you will. I don't want, you know, people to miss what's going on with my music. I want them to feel what I'm saying. It's not entertainment, you know. It's not just music and words. It's my life story. So I kind of want to spoon feed it as I come up, you know. And I just vibe with it. And if I'm feeling something, I just run in the booth, man. I write it down and I just get into it. Yeah.